My name is Lindsay Schnute. I'm going to be talking a little bit about my summer. So on campus at college, we have a community called His House Christian Fellowship, and this is where I live. And we have an opportunity called Ministry to the Point. And what that is a group of His House students go to live at Cedar Point, to work there, and to spread the gospel. And so me and 6 other people went to Cedar Point this summer. We spent a week doing ministry training. We dove into topics like having a heart for the lost, how to have friendships and relationships but make them deeper and go spiritual, the theology of the gospel, how to share the gospel with different tools like that, things like baptism, all these topics. And we spent a week training and just really diving into what they are and how to be a part of that mission that God has called us to. After that week, we went to Cedar Point and we checked in, got all our stuff, and got ready to work. We had full-time jobs, worked 6 days a week, about 8 to 10 hours a day. I worked in the live entertainment field, and so I worked with the Peanuts characters, so Charlie Brown, Snoopy, all those fun characters. My full-time job was to work with the performers. Every day we had shows going on, we had appearances where we went out and said hi to families. I was never in costume. I stood next to the characters and basically facilitated the events, answered questions for people, told people where the bathroom was, helped the characters do their show and interact with people, and basically I was their bodyguard. We're gonna say that.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Peanuts Block Party! I think you mean Lucy's Block Party.
We stayed in dorms. There's a big housing area about 5 minutes from the island where Cedar Point is. There were 4 people to a room. It was nice. We got to meet a ton of people in our hallway, got to hang out outside. There were a lot of areas where we got to sit down and hang out with people and play games. It was a good experience to live there. One thing I enjoyed about my job was I got to work with kids, and so we would do these cute little sing-along karaoke games, and we would put on shows where Snoopy goes to the moon and Charlie Brown plays baseball and all these fun little shows. And we would have tons of kids come up and just be so excited, and they were just mesmerized that they were looking at Snoopy. And even though I was tired and sweaty and over it at 6 o'clock rolls around and I'm ready to be done, these kids were just so pumped to play games and have fun with us, and that always just put me in the best mood ever. That was an amazing thing. The hard part of my job was it got super stressful at times. Customer service is hard, working with families and making sure people are happy. I was in charge of making sure everything was out on time, getting props together, making sure clothing fit right, making sure the equipment was all set up, and make sure no kid sees something go wrong. It can get super tiring and stressful. And more than that, so like you would work 8 to 10 hours and then you would come home from your shift, maybe take 20 minutes to eat a snack, and then you were walking outside, meeting up with people and having Bible studies, and all really fun and exciting things, but it is draining. But having an opportunity to really let God fuel you and be like, I am on 5 hours of sleep, I barely ate today, I feel dead, but God is pushing me through completely. It's an experience like no other. It is incredible. With my job, we had 4 shows that we would do a day, and each show is about 15 to 20 minutes long. So we'd go out, we'd do our show, do a meet and greet, hug kids, take pictures, and then we'd go inside our dressing room, which was air conditioned. A lot of times, dressing room was the time where conversations would happen, ask people how they're doing, really go deeper. Some days nothing happened, some days people were active, and it was a good opportunity to make relationships and to really dive deep with my coworkers. Other than that, I worked 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, and then Sunday we always had off, and that was a time for the team to go to church together, invite coworkers to come to church with us if they weren't working. Every Sunday night we would go back to our church. Someone in our church would cook us a meal, which was amazing. After a whole week of park food and like PB&J and fruit snacks all week, we had a family in the church cook the team a full meal, and That was always our favorite part of the week. Working at Cedar Point has perks. We were treated pretty well. We had a lot of opportunities to meet people, meet other coworkers. I got to meet some people who worked as a ride operator on roller coasters, and if you really got to know those people, you could walk up the exit and skip the whole hour-and-a-half line and walk on.
Why should I be put through such agony?
And that was always a fun perk. We also had ride nights where basically the park closes at 10 and all the guests go home, and at 10:30 all the employees come and they open 1 or 2 roller coasters, and we just get to cycle through and ride a roller coaster 8 times in a row, and then they would provide pizza rolls or fries or whatever, and that was a cool opportunity to meet other employees, to just marathon a roller coaster over and over again, and that was always super fun. My favorite roller coaster is the Maverick and Millennium Force. I like the thrill. I like the high drops and the twisty turnies and the loop-de-loops. I love it all. So Tuesdays and Thursdays we hosted Bible studies. At the beginning of the season, they were at about 8 o'clock, which was pretty normal. But as more people started to work and the park opened up later, we had to push it till 11:30 at night. It was a challenge, but it was so amazing, so fruitful and encouraging. We invited our coworkers, we invited people who lived on our floor, and we would go outside and sit in this big open area with tables, and people would walk by and look at us weird and sometimes make rude comments, but we would have some people walk by and see us and be so excited. One of our really good friends, Connor, we met that way. We were having our Bible study outside, and I just see this guy start running towards me, and he sits down next to me, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, we're having a Bible study." And he was like, "What are you reading?" And I was like, "Well, we're in Ephesians. Do you want to join?" He was like, "Yeah." He was like, 30 seconds ago was praying, walking over here, praying that I would find a Christian group of people, praying that I would find a community. And I looked up, and there was a whole table of people reading their Bibles. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. There was a girl that I spent a lot of time with. Her name was Sarah.
Sarah, help me.
First day we moved in, we were going to get our uniform. She turned the corner and said hi, introduced herself. We said hey and nice to meet you, where are you working, just whatever, small talk. We said bye, we parted ways. 2 hours later, we're back at our dorms, we're moving in. We see her again, we're like, oh wow, hey. She ended up living across the hall from me. And I was like, okay, this is cool. This is an opportunity. I hung out with her the next day. We went and got food, and we spent time together, and I shared the gospel with her the very next day and spent the whole summer having one-on-one Bible studies with her, reading through 8 to 10 chapters of the Bible at a time and diving into it, and we just went so deep. We talked about baptism and the gospel and her life and her struggles and her pain and why is my life so hard and why did God put these things in my path, and she has a lot of struggles, a lot of just hard background stuff that she's working through, but I got to experience God just move in incredible ways in her life, move in my life, show me patience and what it looks like to seek someone out and to intentionally pour the love of Christ into them. And it was hard, it was really hard, but so incredible to watch God work through me. That is all I have to say for now. I will be here at his house for the following 9 months, working on my junior year of college, taking the love of Christ everywhere I go. That's all I have for now. Thank you guys.